So, this is going to be a really hard review to make because there's a lot I want to talk about, but it's really hard to talk about this movie without spoiling anything. Don't worry, I won't spoil anything. I would never do that, but I don't know what else to say in this intro other than fun isn't something one considers while watching this movie. But it did. Put a smile and a serious look on my face. Alright, okay, I'm making no sense. I'm just gonna get into the review. Hey guys, so I just watched Avengers Infinity War, a movie that, of course, nobody saw. It's a small indie film. Alright, whatever, I'm gonna stop with the jokes here. Of course, people have been waiting for this movie for 10 years. 10 years ago, Iron Man came out and people were wondering what would happen in an Iron Man sequel. Did they ever think that something like this would happen? Anyways, really, before I get into talking about everything, once again, I just want to say I will not spoil anything. I never really do that in my reviews at all. The only time I would spoil is if it literally says spoiler review in the title, which it doesn't. I will not spoil anything. That being said, it is really hard for me to talk about everything I want to talk about. I will have to be very vague on certain things. I can't believe that I'm saying I'm reviewing Avengers Infinity War. Let's get into it. So, Avengers Infinity War stars everybody, and this time around, the big baddie Thanos is here to collect all the Infinity Stones so that he can wipe out half the universe, because he believes that there's too much of humanity and very little resources for everyone. So that's all I'm going to tell you. The Avengers have to try to stop him, and we get our huge movie with a budget of about $400 million, I think it was. And it's a really good movie. And a movie that I, of course, was really excited to see, like everyone else. And this movie was very, very different for me. I mean, of course, different is, it's not just because of how big it is and how grand this movie sort of feels and how many superheroes there are in this movie and all that. That, of course, is different about it. It's just like everybody in one movie. That's the difference between this and other Marvel movies. It's the real. It seems like the real big finish. Of course, we have Avengers 4 coming out next year. This movie is not just different in terms of that. This movie is more dark. It has comedy in there. Most Marvel movies that have come up before have, had their action and all that, and, sort of comedy blended into the movie. This movie has a lot of very funny moments, and of course, like, really funny jokes. The jokes are very good, and for about the first half or so of this movie, it's more light, and it's sort of just comedy mixed with action, and then the movie immediately changes and becomes depression. I mean, it's not completely devoid of fun in the second half. Like, there are some jokes still in there, but it really does change tone in the second half. Like, it gets pretty depressing, and it becomes so unpredictable. What I loved so much about this movie was how unpredictable it was. Like, there were, like, a couple moments that were pretty predictable, but then it really got to the point where my heart was beating, I was on the edge of my seat, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just waiting, and I didn't want it to end, and it was absolutely fantastic. If I were to tell you my issues with the film, I only have a couple nitpicks here and there. There was one person that felt sort of out of character, but I mean, when you have all of these superheroes from different films all directed in one movie, it can be kind of hard for everybody to seem like they're in character and like how they were in the other films. But they actually, for the most part, I have to give them major props, because for the most part, the characters worked really well together and their chemistry was quite amazing. And there was just one character I felt, I won't say who it is, but I felt that just in their personality, but the choices that they made were realistic, so I was fine with it. It's just a small tiny thing there. And anything else that I would have like a little bit of a nitpick with would be where I would have to get into spoiler territory. So I won't do that. I unfortunately won't have a spoiler review out because that would be a very, very long video. Anyways, though, I don't really even want to focus on negative things about this movie. Any negatives I have with this movie do not affect the movie that much at all, because this movie is just truly one of the best MCU films. It's not the best, of course. I would say it's my third favorite. Now, I want to get into Thanos. There have been a few villains now in Marvel that have been very, very good and have proven to really break that sort of reputation Marvel has with its villains. Thanos, he is amazing. He truly has so much humanism in him. I don't know if that's a word. You can take something out of every scene that he is in. And I really loved how intimidating he was. He was unpredictable at times, and you really didn't know what he was going to do. Sometimes you really understood where he was coming from. Sometimes, of course, you really didn't, because you really, really hate him sometimes. I really did not like him sometimes, but that's, of course, what makes him such a great villain. But you see where he's coming from. It's like Killmonger was such a great villain in Black Panther. Thanos is seriously, I have to really think about it. I don't know if he's the best Marvel villain we've ever had, but he's so amazing, and he might possibly be the best Marvel villain. I just have to think about it more. But Josh Brolin really, really proved to be an amazing actor, an amazing human character, basically. That's what I have to say about Thanos. He is so great. It is my favorite movie of the year so far. It's not just because this movie is Avengers Infinity War, and it's not just because we've been waiting for this movie for 10 years. I'm about to say this because Avengers Infinity War is just that good. And Avengers Infinity War is an absolute masterpiece, and I'm going to give it an A+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check out this movie. You're probably going to. It's Avengers Infinity War, but seriously, don't miss this movie. It's really unpredictable, it's different, and I really am interested in where they're going to go next with Avengers 4. I honestly don't know. But, like, I know, but I don't. Okay, you know what? No, I can't spoil anything, but that's that. Please go see this movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it if you did. And as always, have a great day. Peace out.